Speak so I can see. All right.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you got it. Okay, good. I think everybody's good volume. They probably want to hear you more than they want to hear me, because you guys got more interesting things to say. All right, we got so many things done and barely anything done. You know how that works. So I just bought the crate. I only have 90 millions, so I can't really be. We didn't make it to go mining because of the patch. What should I do?
Yeah, that should not be a problem, thankfully. You really need only several things. Ideally, you want to upgrade your power distributor and power plant, like, I guess depending on what you install. So power distributor is your first order of business. Good engines, obviously, and the best buy-with shield you can find. Then you will have to go and grab some AX multi-cannons. They're only sold on planetary military bases. There should be some of those nearby, but it will probably require some jumping, so probably grab and FSD as well. After that, just stack shields, shield boosters specifically, not shield cell banks, shield boosters on utility slots. And we'll see about the rest, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see about the rest.
I mean,
in the meantime, we can talk, and you guys can say about like who you are, where you come from, you know, all that stuff while I just travel around and get the stuff done. If you guys want to do that.
Yeah. So let me introduce myself and everybody else. I am Commander 100 the Drop. I'm an overseer of Anti-Xeno Initiative. One of overseers. We have several people on hand. Commanders accompanying me today are Commander Avasa and Commander Valerian. Both are our very, very accomplished pilots. Avasa is our mentor, Valerian too. So they know, well, everything there is to know about AX. They should be able to answer any questions that people have in chat. We've been at this for a very long time. I personally have been doing AX for almost 3 years now. And I've been playing since 2015. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
We as a group, a community, I guess, we are mostly focused on like anti-Thargoid defense. When the things originally started to escalate, which we'll get to later, there is an interesting story behind that. Commander Gluttony Fang organized a group, which I found by complete chance. And since then, we've been fighting Thargoids wherever and whenever we can, especially if they threaten human systems. Fortunately or unfortunately, I guess depending on how you look at it, recently Thargoids have been dormant for basically almost a year. We blame it on Frontier's, well, shifting priorities. But we hope that things will pick up again now that the carriers are finally out and that the Odyssey is coming.
We don't know much about like if that's gonna with the new Odyssey, if they're gonna add any things of Thargoid nature to be fought by foot, right?
There is a very substantial leak that's been circulating for what, almost a year now. That so far has been completely true. I will not discuss it much further, but the leaker states that there will be on foot anti-Thargoid combat, like with the Odyssey mechanics. Again, obviously, that's not confirmed. Frontier themselves have not said absolutely nothing, because that's the usual way.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see. But we do hope that we receive more content, both for the upcoming on-foot space legs, I guess, mode, and for the ship combat, because it's been quite stale for a while.
Yeah.
And we do definitely hope that the Thargoid storyline continues from what it, like, stopped completely, basically a year ago.
Based on your experience, right? We had a segment about BGs, which is basically, you know, background simulation, right? So everything that you do affects the whole game, right? That's the main thing. Now, fighting Thargoids, does he actually change anything into the game? Can you push them back, or does he happen anything in game that actually?
Yes, actually, that's a good starting point. Actually, if you do you wish to watch a video on stream?
Yeah, we can watch it later.
I mean, it's probably the best time to do it soon. There is a good video on Frontiers, actually two good videos on Frontiers site, on Frontiers YouTube channel. They're called Commander Chronicles. So if you can look them up, there is Retaliation and Devastation episodes, and I think like not many people know about them, but they're very good, and they.
You want to post them in chat in the meantime, so people can start watching them?
Avasa, if you can look them up, please do, because I have a very loud keyboard.
I got you.
Avasa will do it for us. But yeah, I do think that you should just play them on stream if it's possible for you, because yeah, it's a very big oversight on Frontier's part that they did not show them to like all of the players to give context to what the actual. How the content started, how the storyline started. But yeah, the mechanically Thargoid invasions used to work again. They're currently completely stopped for a very long time, so now we don't know if they will return their old form or if they will be changed afterwards. But we have two states, BGS states. One is called Infestation, and one is called Incursion. The Incursion comes after Infestation. Infestation is completely hidden from Galaxy map. We cannot see it. It used to be visible for like a week, but Frontier fixed that, and apparently it was an oversight. I do not agree with that decision, but I guess it doesn't matter now. We can detect infested systems by a system called Eagle Eye. If somebody wants to basically know, it's a series of beacons that you can access and receive a coded transmission. It's a very simple code, thankfully, and it will decode into the system name of the system that is under like targeted, which will be in infestation soon. For the last like half a year to a year, they've been pointing to empty systems, which we understand as being like nothing, basically no targets available, but when there are, they point to populated systems with at least one large station, large path station. Outposts are not affected. Apparently Thargoids cannot see outposts.
That would be a massacre if they did, because if that's what they do to station, to the orbital, forget it.
I prefer as a more mechanical approach, but yeah, Frontier probably had not created enough assets for it. But yeah, in general, a system needs to be populated, and it needs to have a large path station. And actually, another thing, what's the newly added, I guess relatively newly added asteroid bases that like inside the big rock. Not sure if you've seen those yet.
Yeah,
those are also completely immune. Those are also completely immune to Thargoid attacks, but that's besides the point. Once the system enters infestation, we have a week. Like basically Thargoids begin spawning. They will like be non-human signal sources all over the place. And we have a week to... That's basically when we have a problem, because we don't actually know what specific threshold or what specific action does help save a system. We know that it's kills, we know that turning in bonds does have some effect, and Frontier had claimed that doing other things, like that's literally their quote, other things, will help it. Unfortunately, Frontier is tight-lipped on that, so we can do only one thing we can do best, i.e. kill Thargoids.
Yeah, just kill them,
Yeah, and there is unfortunately literally zero indication of how close we are to victory or anything, because there's just no in-game tools to do that. If we fail, well, if we succeed in defending the system, nothing changes. Thargoids go away, nothing changes, everything is fine, everything is safe. If we fail, one station burns. So one station becomes, as we call, damaged. like I will show you, but again, there's none at the moment. So, but there is a galaxy map filter for damaged stations and repairing ones as well. Once the station is damaged, it will burn until the incursion is cleared completely. Then we thankfully have a Galnet article that indicates the approximate level of presence in the system, which goes from massive all the way down to none. And it updates basically real time, so we have an idea as to how far we are.
Yeah, and what direction they're going or something like that.
Yeah, so at that point, AX combat zones begin appearing. They only appear in incursions. And we can use those as well, and completing them also has a very significant positive effect on clearing the system. Once we clear the system, it immediately is like everything immediately is removed, but the station will continue, again, all Thargoids are removed, but the station will continue to be burning until the week ends, the next tick, which is always on Thursday. So basically until next Thursday. Again, if by that time incursion is cleared, the station will stop burning and go into a repairing mode. Again, there are several, I think about 20 repairing stations at the time.
Are you guys connected with IDA?
We have an alliance, I guess, and mutually beneficial deal with them. We'll have them, they have helped us. We supply them with evidence and vice versa. We also are partnered with, have an official deal with Canon Research. So they also supply with the evidence if we need them. So yeah, we are connected around, and we do maintain a sizable presence of ambassadors from other player groups that wish to request aid, because at least when the Thargoids were very active, there was a time where we had to prioritize system defense. We were not sure that we will be able to clear all of them in 1 week. Specifically because there were tons of bugs coming around, but let's not talk about that now. And yeah, we had to prioritize things. So if somebody comes and asks, we bump them up to the top. Maybe this will resume when the Thargoids return, but recently we've been, like, with most of the bugs fixed, we've been very, very successful in actually dealing with Thargoids. That's basically it. In terms of BJS impact, when incursions happen, the BJS of the system is basically frozen. So nothing will take place. The incursion will take priority over everything. But Frontier, unfortunately, in their infinite wisdom, did not introduce any sort of impact in infestation. So while the system is in incursion, you will see Thargoid-related missions. There are actually Thargoid-related missions in the game. But again, since the incursions do not happen anymore, not many people, especially nobody new, had seen them ever, because, well, they're just not spawning, and they don't spawn in infestations at all, which is a massive oversight. But well, that's there.
That's pretty good. And now we can see a little bit more. I'm actually looking for the station that sells me some AX multi cannons. Where should I look?
Yeah. So for your build, once do you have access to bi-weave shields at this facility?
Yeah, so basically what I did for now, because I didn't want to interrupt, I did a utility mounts. I put 4 shields. Should I put some heat sinks?
No, you will not be heating much, at least on this ship, and you will not be able to effectively cold orbit anyway. So just stack shields that you
put 4 shield boosters,
yes,
the OA.
That's the best thing.
And then in the option internal,
try to find bi-weave shields.
Which one?
Try to find bi-weave shields. If bi-weave shield generator, if there is an option for that. For the rest, fuel scoop.
I can put a 5C bi-weave. Would that work?
Yes, bi-weaves are the best thing you need to like.
I'm gonna get rid of that.
Shield generator. I mean, ideally you need a 6E, but well. It should go.
Yeah.
It should.
I mean, if I find it, we'll get it.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to get some modular reinforcement packages if you have. If you don't
What
have them, at
grade
least
should I
two.
put?
D, always for both.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like what
4 or
what
3 should work. 3
Okay,
or 4.
we'll do
Two of those, either 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter. I mean, not at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's
still
a
gonna go down probably, but
we'll try to protect you as much as we can.
we'll
But
get
yeah,
a
this build is
4.
definitely not optimized.
We'll do a 4 and a 3. A module.
Yes, that should be enough. So
They don't have they have a 3D and a 4E. But the 3D it's 60% and the 4E it's to the 30%.
Yeah, go for 61s. Again, do 2 class 4s ones. That should also work. Doesn't really matter at this point. You're not engineering them, so
Yeah, I know. I could do it in my other one because I have the engineers for that, but it's gonna do.
It's okay. Now you need hard points. You will have to look on EDDB for, or whatever you look.
Yeah, put like military outpost.
Yes, not outpost. Yeah, the military planetary base, because for some reason Frontier decided to only sell the basic X equipment on planetary stuff, and some of them are sold on many types: industrial, military, some other things. And
which one should I try and get? The 3C or the 3E?
It mostly depends on your aim. If you want to go against scouts, turreted large ones are the option of choice. And for crate, like, we're basically building a normal anti-scout crate build right now, just without engineering.
Which one would you recommend to go for? Turret?
Turreted. For now, it's turreted. Let's go turreted. You'll see that Thargoids are relatively agile for their size, so it will be a very hard time aiming, especially for people not familiar with fixed weapons, because there are no gimbaled weapons, no gimbal.
Well, I use plasma accelerators on my FTL, but if I don't know how it works with those, you know, with the I don't even have this ship very engineered at all, so it's gonna be rough.
Again, it's okay. Plasma accelerators are actually easier to aim because they have a relatively high projectile speed, and you don't need to be on target 100% of the time because the reload is so high. And multi-cannons are the other way around. You need to basically be glued to the aiming reticle, which takes skill. And unfortunately, as we will probably talk about later, Frontier is very bad at balancing in general. So we do not recommend using AX multi-cannons in anti-interceptor fights at all. They're I mean, for now we'll be able to just guide you through a process and protect you, but if you're going solo, please bring Gauss cannons. That's another point. IX currently revolves around Gauss cannons. If you, like, all other things are basically noob traps, which I feel bad about because some of the weapons are very cool, and I do understand why people like them, try to use them, but trust us, we've been at this for 3 years.
Oh yeah.
We have 6,500 people in Discord.
I saw that. I couldn't even scroll down to change my nickname because I couldn't find myself.
It's not possible. At any given time, there are at least 150 people trying to pass the verification process.
Yeah.
So, like, we have enough experts to determine, like, definitively state that those weapons are not great. Like, Gauss cannons are the best, and not because they are OP. We don't want them nerfed. It's because all of the rest just have very, very unfortunate drawbacks. Frontier just do not do balancing in a way that has a proper upsides and downsides. They just slap on downsides and leave it at that.
Should I take my so the closest one for the AX, it's 25 jumps away with the crate, because my crate is only 11. Should I just take my SPX?
Do you have can you upgrade your FSD on this ship?
No, not here in the station that I'm in. I can probably look for another one for A.
Actually,
and
do we have any? I wonder, do we have any mega ships carriers around?
there's a carrier over
Ship,
here.
yeah.
It says it has it, but with the carriers, it's always like it could be there, it could be gone. Should I try that?
You should check it anyway. Yeah. Which carrier is that?
J5HT8X.
The name, if possible.
Let me see. I'm gonna click on it. Does it show the name over here? On EDDB doesn't show. Hold on.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So check it out. See if it's there. See if it has it. It's worth it at least. If we can get X multi-cannons here, that's basically all we want.
That's 25. You know, that should be like 3 jumps. So yeah, that's good. Let me go look real quick. 4 jumps.
That may be more because it's tries. It's 4 jumps anyway. So yeah, are you in private group or?
Yeah. Oh, we can go open. It doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want to do.
I mean, it's better to go private group for connectivity.
I'm in Flappy's private group, but you can probably add you to it. Because this is my silly account, so I don't have a. Flappy, do you wanna invite him?
So yeah, people, Avasa and Laren, please change your nicknames to commander names as per the standard.
Already done.
Excellent.
He's on point, man.
You can just look at. Yeah, we have the standard unique names for a reason, because it significantly eases up the communication process and winning up and stuff.
He's asking for like in-game names.
Yes, our nicknames in Discord should now be our in-game names.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and get there.
So I'll just be in main menu.
Yeah.
You are clear of the station. Until next time,
I see. Do I need to add you as well on the game, or if he invites you to the wing, it's fine?
It would be. I think it would be better, but yeah, we'll have to form a wing anyway. So
yeah.
I think I will going to send you a friend request.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Thanks for the follow, Poly Effect. Thank you so much.
So yeah, I think somebody already posted in your chat, but we do indeed have our very own personal website, Anti-Xeno all one word, no hyphens, no spaces, no. It has all the relevant links that you need to find us, learn, or something else.
Yeah. And basically, when I reached out, oh my god, dog butt. When I reached out, I've been given a name of a person, and then that person said to actually come to you, which it worked out. It's like, you know, I don't want to like misinform you of anything, so it was nice to get that done.
Thank you for having us. Like, I don't really want to brag, but we are the biggest AX group, like probably by far. But yeah, we are not the only one, and unfortunately our presence is limited on consoles, specifically due to lack of proper staff members for those platforms. So we do have, like, our Discord is open for everybody. Like, we have specific channels for like looking for group, for looking for wing for all platforms. So you can find people to play with, but yeah. Our main presence, I guess, is on PC, mostly because there are just significantly many players there.
Yeah, I saw like on your Discord, everybody is mostly PC. At least when you scroll down, all you can see is PC.
We have stats actually. I think about 25% of our population is consoles only.
Yeah,
and the rest 75% are PC.
Oh yeah, Vasa is in.
Excellent. I'm waiting for okay, yeah, I see.
Is it mostly Europeans? What's the average on there?
We have like all over the place. Even our staff team is literally all over the globe, from Australia to Europe to America, both coasts, everything.
Totem is like it's doing like so much. It's like all the links. It's awesome. Alright, let's see if this thing is here, so I can buy the... what's the name of that thing that I need to get it?
So yeah, actually we also do have our very own private group.
Hi, welcome to Chile.
Hey, thanks for the follow,
Just
Puka.
Anti-Xeno Initiative. So if you wanna find other people to play with, it's on open access. You can request access to the group, and it will auto accept, and you can find people to hunt Thargoids with. Okay, Avasa, if you're in a wing already, can you please invite me?
Sure thing.
Let me see. Okay, let me pull ADB. By mistake, I closed it. I don't remember the name. There's a big chance that the actual thing is here, though. Okay, so it's J5H. Yeah, it's here. Let me go see. Hopefully it's open.
You can check from the navigation thing.
If it's set to Squadron and Friends or open
you
to
can
public.
check that. You can check permissions.
Oh.
Just pull up the navigation tab and select it, and it will have the stats.
Ooh, nice, nice.
So I'm currently landed at the XZK carrier. It does have charted AX multicam, if that one doesn't.
I just saw it and it says open to all, so it's good. All right, we didn't have to make a 400 layers jump to go get those.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because we had ideas with carriers as to how to use them best for to serve people in Pleiades, because that's our home. Our home system is HR 1185, and we have our own player minor faction in there as well. But unfortunately, Frontier implemented the module and ship selling mechanics very poorly, at least in my honest opinion, which limits, significantly limits what we can sell. We cannot even sell Guardian modules. We can only sell the basic anti-Thargoid stuff, which is...
You think it's because they want people to actually get those on their own?
You still, yes, but we do not ask for people to be able to skip grind. It's basically the same way it works for ships. If you have the permission to buy them, if you have the unlocked for them, you can buy them. If you can't, they just not there for you, at least.
Gotcha.
So it works like that for stations. Again, for example, Jameson Memorial has a Guardian Tech Broker, and it sells everything by itself anyway. But if you don't have the unlock, you cannot see them, you cannot buy the same things. So the mechanic is already in the game. I do not understand, honestly do not understand why they elected to just completely remove some modules from being able to be sold simply because they require unlocking. Same goes for ships, actually.
Getting a Corvette or getting a cutter or something.
None of the rank locked ships, or even actually Alliance ships for some reason, are just not in the just not an option.
Interdiction. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Wasting time.
Interesting why getting interdicted so much. Do you have cargo by chance?
No.
Awesome.
They just like me, I guess.
Maybe wanted or want?
No, I'm not even wanted. I haven't shot anything. But it's fine, it's fine.
I never get interdicted these days, but okay.
I usually just stop the interdiction and fight him, but I don't have any I don't have anything to fight him with.
Have you hyperdicted actually or not?
Oh yeah.
Yet.
Oh yeah. Many times. Do you know, like, since you know, you guys know everything about Thargoids for the most part, you know, do you know, like, for the meta alloy, the people say like they don't require you to drop it anymore? Is that true?
Yes. I think they never really required you to drop them. They just
did it because they were
stare
scared.
at you, like, yeah, they do the sounds.
Yeah.
They do weird sounds and basically demand you drop them, but you can technically high wake out of there. And
What's something that triggers them?
Several things. Obviously, fire, any sort of damage.
What if you run away? Because they say to stop, no?
Again, they have different triggers. First of all, they have two states of being angry.
Mm-hmm.
They have the guarded state, basically, where they deploy the swarm and just basically tell you to back off or just not do anything. But they don't immediately attack at that point. And the second state, when they actually go out and attack you. If you carry Guardian-related cargo, they will just attack you. Mm-hmm. Not modules, actually. Modules do not trigger that.
None of them?
Do not. Yeah, none of them. You can have all of the things, they just do not care. I honestly think that might be a bug, but at this point it's impossible to tell. The never clarifies anything. But Guardian cargo does trigger them. At least maybe the last patch broke it, so I don't know. We'll have to test it again. Like meta alloys, they do not technically drop them, do not technically aggro on them, but they do want you to drop them. Getting too close, they have about 600 meters personal zone, which they protect intensely and really don't like when you get in. So don't get like, the only exception is when they come to scan you, so you can scan them in turn. That's when they will approach at about 400 to 500 meters. But once the scan is done, you need to back off. They'll try to as well, but sometimes they fail to do so. Yeah, and obviously any damage done to them will aggro them, and if there are any scouts in the instance at all Thargoids Interceptor will just be automatically aggressive to everybody.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. But if you go into one instance where the Interceptor is the only one, then it doesn't happen.
It will be passive initially.
Yeah.
It will be passive initially. It will go up and scan you. Again, if you have the required cargo, it will aggro. If you don't, it won't. But then it will just go and continue scanning things. At which point, then it will just warp out if you don't engage.
Gotcha. Because I have that instance where I dropped, and I think it was a Basilisk or an Interceptor, and he didn't do anything to me. You just chill out and left.
The hyper Orb also basically works the same. They just shut down you as well and scan you, and then depending on what cargo you have, they will just.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh my god.
Proceed to landing pad 11.
No, I know. I was like, I just don't want to get shot. Hold on.
Yeah, you need to be slightly higher.
Okay, we good.
All those pads are very close to each other.
I need to turn around. Oh my god, this ship.
Just I guess a reminder for people that there is always the compass thingy that is left to the radar that always points you to things you need to go. Specifically landing pad in this particular case.
Yeah. I usually face the number. That's how I usually know, but that's not what this case is. This is not one of your guys, right? That is selling things.
Maybe it's Ganar, so it is our. I'm not sure if he's registered already, but we do have a carrier commander program where people can basically register our carriers with them. I mean, their carriers with us, and be officially recognized as an AXI vessel.
Like Puka was saying, the closest thing to friendly interaction is feeding them meta alloys.
Yes, there actually is a very interesting story behind that as well, because in one of the patches, Frontier apparently added the reputation system for them. I mean, they added the factions Like there are like things like Pilot Federation, for example, like big things that give you like bounties or reputation or stuff, like Federation or Alliance or Empire, something like that. Thargoids apparently do now have their own faction as well. As does Pilot Federation. Both were added in the same patch. And the bonds you get from Thargoids are Pilot Federation bonds. So they are like universal. Like you can turn them down, turn them in anywhere, except the carrier, but I'll talk about that later. So there was a brief period where people noticed that you got Thargoid reputation change messages, as you usually do. And yeah, apparently some people have been able to donate or give them enough alloys to receive friendly status, so the Thargoids show up green, but I've personally not seen any absolute determinate proof of that. I've seen some second-hand evidence.
People were saying that you can also get permit from like the Thargoids if you do some sort of, but I'm pretty sure it's all like it's probably BS, right?
It's all bullshit. Sorry, but that's all bullshit.
Yeah. I guess it's the kind of thing like if you go to Hutton Orbital and you come back, you win a free Anaconda kind of thing.
There's a free Anaconda in there.
Yeah, exactly. My question is, am I going all multi-cannons on any of everything?
You're going 3 turreted large multi-cannons. Like there is a hard limit on 4 IX weapons on a ship. Flak launchers do not count. They're an exception to that. So you can only ever have 3 damage-dealing weapons. In which case you want to have large turreted IX multi-cannons. Okay. If they are there.
Yeah, they're here. They have the 3E. I think that's the best one that they have.
Should do. Yes.
The only thing is like I'm gonna run out of power because they didn't have any.
You will manage. You can turn off the fuel scoop, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe upgrade your the power plant. We'll see.
Because that system didn't have a power plant. Okay, I got the 3 multi-cannons.
Check if this place has flak launchers. And they're medium, so for the medium slots.
They have missile racks. Just missile racks.
No, unfortunately not. So, well, flak launchers are very hard to use anyway, so I think you should be able to go by anyway. You can install a missile rack if you really want to try them. Just go for the fixed one. Because they're like you will be aiming them separately. Turreted missiles are never a good idea.
Yeah, no, okay.
But Frontier apparently did not get the memo. And yeah, you will not be able to install any more damage-dealing weapons because there's a hard limit of 4. Flak, you will probably not be able. I mean, the only place to get flak is probably that thing 25 jumps away. So I think we should just proceed.
That's fine. And somebody had a question. Let me see, where was it?
Yes.
Since we have Xeno Ally and Pro Thargoid decals and lore in game, are there any specific friendly gameplay interaction with Thargoids?
Can you repeat that?
Hi,
they say like.
I see.
Okay. Thank you for the follow-up.
Friendly gameplay interactions with Thargoids? No. Sorry, but strictly mechanically speaking, there are 0 things that can be considered friendly except for feeding them metalloys, and even that is technically not a completely friendly mechanic, because if you feed them enough metalloys, they spawn, they basically call in another one. They can call reinforcements to pick up all those metalloys, and we use that to get like 8 interceptors in one instance. So that's how multi-goid fights usually go, because you just literally have to dump enough metalloys. Again, there is some evidence that feeding them metalloys did change reputation, but since then it's been patched out, and we have no idea if that was intended or not, or it was a mistake. And as usual, we have no idea. But no, nothing else can be done to them to make them friendly or something. Scouts, for example, will always be angry. They will just
they're so mean, man. They're so mean.
They're small little buggers and very mean. Okay, let me also just
I'm gonna have to
launch.
figure it out how to. What should I take off or?
Fuel scoop. If you can go
Yeah.
by. Can you make it to Astrop without fueling or refueling, I guess?
I don't know. I never use a crate. I guess we'll figure it out.
Try to plot a route to Astrop and see if the line tone turns.
Yeah. We learned that
dotted.
today with the fuel rats. I had no idea that was a thing.
Excellent. If no, then check if you can get by with just turning it off later. You don't really need to like
I know that.
completely uninstall things. You can manage your power.
Yeah, brother was saying
Usually.
Thargoid combat is the toughest PvE in the game.
Yes, that's absolutely
That's how you
true.
get like the best rep and the best money. I mean,
Definitely not best money.
really,
Sorry,
because it takes
but
way too
if you-
long in order to get the money that you
It's
want.
not even. Yes, it has a very high investment activity. You need, ideally at least, to have any significant chance to be able to just farm Thargoids for cash. You need a full engineer ship, and I'm talking full grade 5. You need significant time investment to learn all the mechanics, because mechanics are completely different to normal NPCs. You need to unlock all of, no, not all, but at least Gauss cannons, and then ideally some other things. And you obviously need to get money for the ship.
Yeah.
It's I think at least 200 to 700 million credits investment.
If somebody
depending on
wanted to
if you-
jump in, I know that everything in this game has a steep learning curve based on what you want to do, and it could be like how to get to Beagle Point, how to do combat in PvP, how to do combat in PvE, and all that stuff. If somebody wanted to just jump in and say, "I'm gonna try and give it a try," what's the first thing people make a mistake? There's like you shouldn't do that.
going for bad ships.
Okay.
Going for bad ships. Sorry, but again, strictly like I went through a phase of trying to make things work. Obviously, even the infamous Type 10. I bought it on first day. I outfitted.
Everybody loves that Type 10.
And I sold it immediately because it's garbage. Sorry, it's just specifically mechanically garbage. And especially as starting out in a very tough gameplay type, you want all of the advantages you can. If you think that you can just throw in and like face roll a Thargoid, you are so out of your element that you don't even know that. That is not true. I've seen at this point probably thousands of people do that, or at least try to do that. Like come in, say that I'm gonna go and do my Anaconda build or my Type 10 build. Don't listen to any feedback that you will have a very bad time. Then go out, eat dozen ribeyes, come back in and whine about things being too hard. They're not too hard. You just handicapped yourself from the start.
Yeah, somebody said
So-
you will die and it will hurt the entire time.
Yes, but when you do succeed, it will feel all the better. Again, the problem is how much money first, and how much patience do you have.
That's funny.
I can completely understand, and I can see a possibility of somebody just like going in and doing like, I'm gonna do my first Thargoid in a Type 10.
No, that was me
Unengineered.
basically with the Anaconda trying to say like I'm gonna go in the. We went to the Threat 9 to see a Hydra. We lasted about
Yep,
2 minutes, if
yep.
that.
Yes, sorry, but there's like 2 people in the entire game who did that.
Yeah,
I know both of them. I can count them in less than one hand.
yeah.
It's not gonna happen again. Like I can foresee a possibility when somebody perseveres through that challenge for so long that he actually does that. But in 99.9% cases, that's not true. Again, at this point, I've seen thousands of people do that, and all of them quit.
So people
we
are saying
always-
the Chieftain is one of the best ships for that. What do you
I'll
run?
get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So first mistake, getting a wrong ship. I'll get to which ships are best and which ships are worst in a second. Second, using the wrong weapons. Again, sorry, but at this point in time, literally anything else than Gauss is just handicapping yourself, because again, that hard limit means that you only have 4 slots to be able to deal damage. If you want to deal the most damage, and damage, or specifically damage per second, is the most important characteristic in the fight you can do. Like, there's some cheese versus Cyclops, and again, Cyclops, most of the weapons are balanced all right. I'll say all right, not great, all right. But once you get beside the Cyclops, and once you get after Basilisk or Medusa or something else, they'll just fall off a cliff in terms of effectiveness.
Yeah.
The Gauss remains the only viable weapon. It's not that it's great and it's not so that OP, it's the only viable one. So first thing, get a good ship. Second thing, get Guardian stuff. Third thing, engineer. Sorry, but it's an end game activity. You need at least grade 3.
Yeah, that's like you're doing something that's like almost end game, but you want to do it when you're like 10 hours into the game, and then it's not gonna work.
I mean, number of hours is not specifically tied, but you need resources. You need knowledge, and you need skill. So you can have different distributions of those. You may be the new mining billionaire, so you have all the credits in the world, but you might not have any materials. Sorry, you need materials. You need to engineer. You need to go and unlock all of the not all of the, but most of the engineers and engineer your ship. Then you need to build the ship.
You need those shield boosters engineered, man.
Yes.
Those
you
are
need to engineer
delicious.
at least, and we recommend at least grade 3 or 4 because those do not require the ridiculously hard to get grade 5 materials. So you don't need to grind too hard. It will still be a grind, just not an insane one. Back to ships. For ship selection, we recommend basically 3 things. Or 4, I guess. If you wanna, it depends on if you wanna. First, you need to decide which kind of ship you wanna fly. It's medium or it's big, large ships. Sorry, small ships are not viable. We have literally specific challenge ranks for people doing kills on small ships. They're just too
Come on, you tell me that you never kill anything with a Sidewinder? All fully engineered?
We did kill things with sidewinders. We killed. We have several people who killed a Hydra in a Vulture.
No way.
That's a very, very impressive kill. But again, those people have thousands of hours, almost specifically in IX, and I can count them on less than one hand. So it is possible. Sure. Yeah. Are you one of the literally 0.1% of people that can do that?
Maybe after 500 rebuys.
Yeah, Ilarion had done that as well. But anyway, it's ridiculously hard. So, medium or large ships. Medium ships, we recommend 2 things, Crate or Chieftain. Crate is more tankier, more noob friendly, I guess, because again, it's less punishing. Chieftain is better long term. Crate is more tanky, less agile, less dependent on pip management. Chieftain is more dependent on pip management, requires you to cold orbit. We may get into that later. Basically, it is harder to learn, but it's better when you master it. Crate is the other thing, basically. It's easier to learn, has a slightly lower ceiling of performance. Overall, Chieftain is the number 1 ship we currently have. That's literally number 1. If you're going for large ships, sorry, but it's either Cutter or Corvette. Anaconda is basically just Corvette, but much slower and less agile. Yeah, it's worse in every way in terms of IX.
They say does the AX ship launch fighter help a lot for scouts? Maybe.
No. There was a time where they could have been used by large ships to draw aggro from an Interceptor, but in one of the, at this point, very long ago patches, they patched it so they don't aggro anything. AX fighters, like the new ones, the Guardian ones specifically, are also very badly designed for AX. I know it sounds very strange, but they're very badly designed. They have paper hull and high shields, which is not what you want. You want a good balance. Like for that, they just die to a breeze, literally. You can die in less than 0.1 second in that, which will not be a good experience. And basically, you will have to redeploy it constantly. Yeah. Against Interceptors.
And one more thing for you to do while you're trying to do your own thing.
And another thing to macro manage. That's true. You don't want to learn in that situation. For medium ships, it's just completely useless.
Yeah, they say the fighter hangar will be a waste on the crate.
Yeah, it will be a waste of slots. You're better getting, I don't know, hull reinforcement, shield cell bank, anything else in there. Literally anything else.
That's pretty cool.
And then there is another point of lag, because up to probably this patch, we're not sure yet if it's fixed completely, but probably not. Ship launch fighters, especially in multiplayer, has caused significant lag, up to a point of actually like breaking the instances. So we just completely forbid people from bringing them unless we do a special event that requires them. It's just like save people some headache. Don't bring a thing that can break the multiplayer.
Yeah.
If you get lonely without crew, get some people to play with.
Exactly, get an actual wing.
Visit our Discord. We have people. We have channels for looking for group. There will be somebody who.
Plus, you get to learn a lot, and then if you die, at least like you know what you did wrong, or somebody in the wing can actually tell you, "Oh, you should have done this, or should have done that."
Yes.
There's always learning in this. I'm ready. Just need to know where I'm plotting.
Yes, Avasa and Larian, you can. Let's go and find the thing.
So I can see if I can jump there.
We are in Astro. Yep. So we'll be waiting for you. And
Okay, let me see.
Searching.
I should be able to jump there without any problems.
We'll see. Again,
Yeah, it's good.
You don't need to uninstall the thing. You'll just be able to
Disable it.
turn it off later. So check your fire group modules inventory.
Yeah, and see how
modules
much
tab.
power it gets.
Yes, if you're over, you just disable.
I'm at 10%.
Shield cell bank. Shield cell bank. Disable shield cell bank for now. It's on the top.
Where is it? I saw it before. Yeah, it
it's
is.
on the top.
We'll put on 2 and 3. 3.
No. Just disable it completely.
Oh,
for now.
okay, gotcha. You don't need that.
Not now. You'll swap
Enable
it
it,
with the thing later.
And should I take where's the
and
scoop?
missile rack as well. Yeah, actually, you need to restock missiles. Don't forget to.
Yeah,
restock
no.
missiles
I saw it was 0 out of 0. We're not gonna do that.
You'll just turn off fuel scoop, and we'll see what you can support and on that power plant.
We're
like, when we get
99%.
there.
All right, we'll see. All right, let me restock, and I'm on my way.
Yes, excellent. So Avasa, Larian, tell me if you find anything. Ideally, we wanna.
What threat are we gonna do?
We will start from the scratch. Cyclops should not be hard.
Should not be hard. I like your confidence. I like that.
I mean,
For you guys.
at this point, we have people who have killed thousands and dozens of thousands of Thargoids themselves alone.
I've never seen a Thargoid died from my own perspective, as in I've seen videos, but I want to see that thing blow up on my screen. So you guys do all the work, and so I can get to see it.
That's the plan. At least, the problem is to not die, I guess.
Why am I jumping 3 layers? Is it really my thing 3? I can jump 11. Okay.
Okay, no granted instances. Let me check out the. So, I guess we'll talk while you jump. We'll talk about
go for it.
how to find Thargoids. Thargoids are mostly found in Pleiades. There are some leftovers of the initial invasion. There was a time before the automated system, before Frontier basically created this whole incursion infestation system. They did it by hand. They manually placed megaships on each system, like the damaged ones. And after this whole went through, they just forgot to clean them. There's about 20 or something megaships strewn all over the bubble. The most famous one is in Deseat, for obvious reasons. And we basically get daily visitors that scream about Thargoids being in Deseat. So if you're one of those people, please don't. There's no Thargoids in Deseat. It's just Frontier being lazy. Like, yes, those megaships do have a chance to spawn a Thargoid, investigating them, but they're not supposed to be there. They were supposed to be in an incursion system. Again,
since then, fake news.
Yes and no again. Since then, Frontier automated the whole thing. And great, we don't have a nav beacon.
So my thing also, what do you do with Thargoid's hearts? Like, what's the main goal? Do you even collect them, or?
Unfortunately, nothing much. Thargoid's hearts are incredibly cheap to sell. So
That's crazy to think about it, though.
Yes, we
But how
wanted to
hard are they to be killed? You should get
Yes,
like you get
yes.
more from you spend more for metal alloy probably than you do for.
Yes, actually, I think that is like sensors are more significantly more expensive. Probes are much more expensive. I do not understand Frontier's
So
reasoning.
they make
But
great bubbleheads though.
yes, the only thing you literally actually need Thargoid hearts is for a bobblehead. There is
How many do you need?
Bobblehead. I think it's 1 heart or 2 hearts and
Okay, so basically one interceptor.
Yes, any interceptor and some metal alloys. And we encourage people to get them on their own, specifically to have to showcase the achievement and not just ask somebody for it.
Yeah, so can you drop one when you kill it? Yeah, I don't know. They say 1 heart and 10 metal alloys. They
Yes,
said.
yes.
Yeah, I got you.
It's been a significant time since I unlocked mine, so I tend to forget this sort of thing. In any case, we have so we wanted to offer possibility to buy them from people for significant cash, so to increase, because again we can do that, we have cash, but we literally cannot do that because they're just that cheap, and carriers can only buy for 10 times the base price. So we can only offer about 300k for each.
Gotcha.
So, Avasa, Ilarian, do you have any instances at least not the recommended ones, just any?
I got a bunch of Threat 5s, none of them guaranteed though.
Oof.
So you would think that if you're ready with a ship that you get used to it and you can take, the just scouts out, is that the best way to rank up your combat?
Yes. I mean, at least it used to be, and probably still is. Basically, all of Thargoids used to count as about 4 elite ships. They recently dropped them down to 1 elite ship. No, not recently. I mean, it's all recently to me because it was like less than 3 years ago. But they are still like. Thing is, you can just usually, if there is a conflict zone, you can just have a lot of them at the same time, and they're relatively easy to kill if you know how to do that. There is a one catch though, like fighting scouts does not prepare you for fighting interceptors.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them they have different completely ways of fighting, right? Maybe.
Oh, not completely. They share some mechanics, but generally they are different.
Do they only do caustic damage, or do they have other sort of damages that they hit you with?
Ilarian, you wanted to?
Yeah, I'm about to drop on a Threat 5. Should I go?
Yeah, so follow Ilarian, drop on him. So yeah, they do caustic damage. People mistake things, I guess, mistake damage types with effects. There is a caustic goo effect that is applied to your ship that constantly deals damage, and there is a damage type like thermal, kinetic, and stuff, and Thargoids do caustic damage. It's important to know that shields do not have caustic resistance. They
go straight to the hull. That's why you say make sure that
they are absorbed by shields.
Oh, I see.
But you cannot stack resistance. There's no way to do that. So the only thing you can do for shields is just stack raw health.
Gotcha. And then to get rid of caustic, you gotta get like super hot, right?
Yes.
To burn it off.
Ilarian?
I have a Cyclops on me.
Excellent. We'll be dropping on you momentarily.
I'm about to drop right now. What's the pip?
Ilarian, he's with. For crate, if you have what's a class of basically go 222 should be
222?
alright.
Gotcha. Only for scout smash. Should I let you get the aggro or what?
Yes. Try to not.
I'll be on his back.
I mean, you will.
Oh my
you can
god.
Damage him. It probably won't be targeting you. If it does, try to get away. Try to not stay in.
Oh, this poor beluga man got wrecked. Feels so bad.
It's lagging. It's lagging. You're getting too close. You're getting too close.
Yeah, I'm going.
Try to get away. So here he went to first.
Yeah, it's. How far once they kind of tell you stay away from me, how far do you need to be in order for?
600 meters or more.
Okay.
So see, it went to scan you. Stay still, stay still.
Oh god. I don't even have the modules ready because I forgot the 5 groups.
Okay, everybody
Okay,
is
good.
here. I think only... Okay, everybody is now here.
Do we go?
Is that around?
Let's initiate. I'll go for the swarm once we're ready.
Does the swarm is just missiles or is just actual
No,
organic?
you'll see how it works. It's a separate entity. Avasa, you can initiate once you're ready.
Initiating.
Do we go full ham or let him pull the
Try
parts?
to spread it for a bit.
Somebody said nope, nope,
Otherwise you'll
nope.
just kill him too fast. Okay, I think
How
it's
do you know how
back.
much health does he have? Is it because of the hearts?
I actually, yeah, you don't have the scanner on you.
Oh, there's a scanner for this?
There is a AX scanner.
If you
can even-
target it, you should be able to see the scan.
I think
I see,
you
I see.
Can you?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
it.
you can see the number of hearts as
Yeah.
like, I mean, rectangles. on-
Yeah, the 4,
next
yeah.
to- Yeah,
Maybe
one
somebody
of
else
them
to take the heart
is
down.
flashing
That's not
because
that
it's...
heart
What? We do have a hard buck already?
We have a heart.
To shoot the multi-cannon,
So, yeah.
what do you do? I never used turreted. Do I
You
tell
need
just...
to sub-target the heart that is exerted. You'll
Oh, I
see the
see.
status of the heart next to the heart in contacts panel.
Yeah,
In
yeah, gotcha,
contacts
gotcha.
target. Now
And you
all,
just
all
don't-
hearts are back in, so they're not exerted. You need to deal damage to hull. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So now heart is exerted. You target the exerted heart. And 8%. Again, you just need to get close enough and fire. Actually, let him kill it. Let him kill it. Try to not snap. So just get close, target the heart, not the interceptor itself, and just fire. Actually, do you have the
Oh.
turret weapon set as target only, not the missiles? You
I
only
don't know,
kill
to be
the
honest.
missiles.
I'm gonna use
Go to your right panel, ship, turreted weapon mod. Ship functions, turreted weapon mod.
I got you.
Ship first panel.
And then fire will? Or
No. Target only.
target only? Gotcha.
Target only, yeah. You need to get within 1.5 kilometers. Let's exert it again.
Gotcha. It's
Exert
working
it.
now.
So now,
Yeah.
now you can kill him. Just get close.
I just gotta get closer.
You need to aim missiles because they're very slow.
Yeah, I know, yeah,
You
so
need
that-
to get close with it.
Oops.
And you need to get a good angle because you can only really damage it from front or bottom. Or behind it.
I don't think it likes me that much. This guy.
Do we have a hard back again?
I have a heart bug on my end. I can't take the heart out.
Okay, let's re-exert it.
You have to completely take it down to 0 in order to be able to do that? It's at Starbucks.
No, you need to deal 20% of its current HP in damage for the heart to exert, and then you need to take down the heart. Again, use the missiles if you can. Actually, I don't even see you doing damage. Maybe I do.
I didn't even see it. Where did it go? Oh, here. Oh my god.
Aim for the reticle. Yes, so make sure that the multi-cannon stay on the reticle.
Yep.
It seems like he's not able to do damage. Oh well.
I mean, you
It's
can kill
a
it.
bug. Yeah, we can probably kill it. At least one of us can. Let's go.
I think it might be you, Rob.
No, not me. Definitely not me.
They're saying stupid question, but what does the AX cannon do that regular ones don't?
Deal AX damage. There is
Xeno Hunting, yeah.
mostly hidden type of damage that is AX. Again, the same time type of kinetic, normal, and stuff. Frontier, like the game is very bad at giving you information about stuff you need to have.
They don't like to hold
so
hands.
The in-game stats do not show any kind of like. They only show the main type of damage that is done. Okay, so it's completely immune now, or whatever. Did they actually break the hearts even more? Let's try re-exerting it again, and try.
There we go.
Ooh.
So yeah, there is a long-standing issue in the game called the heart bug, or invincible heart bug, which is
Ooh, he doesn't look
basically
too happy.
what happened here. It's only going to boost and probably not do that correctly.
Oh, that doesn't look good, man. You okay?
The lighting. I mean, not really.
Oh my god, that looks sick.
It's only a Cyclops. In general speaking, you don't want to get hit. We're just in a bad configuration right now.
Ow.
I'll kill this one.
Yeah, just shoot them, shoot them.
It deals a heavy damage to your shields, like completely melts them.
Ow!
Somebody take aggro.
Let me re-get
Leave
the
this
shield
one
real
with
quick.
me.
Looks so freaking cool, I know, right, Totem?
No, I'm just gonna wait for the timer.
So you're gonna say about the pack, not the pack counts
Yeah.
looking thing. So what is it? Just like it's like a guardian for them? I mean, it's like a fighter for them, or
it's a
what?
separate. Basically, yes. It's very similar to a fighter. It's actually only user.
Ooh, like that. Can you take them out?
Actually, yes, you can. The only thing that can is the Flak Launcher. So currently, unfortunately, you're completely
Gotcha.
vulnerable to them. They deal damage by shooting when they get close. They have small, like, green laser thingies, and then they can turn into missiles under certain circumstances. It's a very long thing to explain, but you generally just want to kill them as fast as possible. They can be replenished. Basically, you'll fight one swarm for each heart of the Interceptor, at least. And some more if you're slow to kill it. But in general...
Good call, whoever said about the heart. Orlando, thanks.
So basically,
Also, the lightning triggers when you get 800 meters or close, and it has a small reload timer. So once you just been zapped, it should be safe.
should I explain the mechanics of the Flak Launcher?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you explain it to everybody anyway. Everybody's listening.
The Flak Launcher is a projectile weapon that you shoot and you keep holding the mouse button down, and it sort of keeps traveling. And when it's in the middle of the swarm, you release the trigger and it detonates.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a C4-ish.
Kinda, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, remote detonation basically. You need to hold the button, and when you release it, it just blows up. So there is an indication of how close you get your shell to the swarm. There is like circle filling up and stuff, and when you hear the actually it's killed now.
Is it on this last arc right now?
No, it's only the second one. Actually, try to get far away because it will launch caustic missiles.
Ooh, yeah.
There it goes.
There it goes. Ow.
Just it should do.
How do I burn it off?
That's not good.
I will clean them. Try to stay still at this point. I'll just decom you. Yeah, slow down if you can. I'm in the Corvette. I'm not very fast.
Ow, that burns, man.
It's okay.
Got me right in the
You'll be
booty.
Okay.
Almost like anti-fire without the air.
I have the aggro.
It's failed.
Why do I feel like you're about to shoot me or something? To take it off. Oh, it's just a repair
come
limpet
on.
that you're throwing?
It is a limpet, not a repair one. It's decom one. And keep missing. So sorry. 1 second.
So are those like available through? How do
They're
you get
available
those?
to everybody. Unfortunately, not very useful in combat because any kind of damage that you take, except for the caustic damage that you're suffering from right now, okay, engaged. So now I can finally return to the fight. Wait for it to completely remove. You'll get a notification, and then get back. again, any damage will just kill the limpet instantly, so that's why they're not very useful in combat.
Yeah,
unless
'cause-
you can in a wing, so you can like get away and safely decom.
Okay, I got it.
The caustic damage removed, excellent.
How long would it take for one person to take out one like this? If you're not in a wing.
Depends. In a wing, we can basically almost immediately kill it.
Yeah.
It's a Cyclops. It's very easy to do. Several people can basically insta-give it. So it's not a big thing. Again, the big problem is the invincible hardback, which I was trying to explain. So let's get to that. So there can, in multiplayer, there can be a possibility that the heart becomes invincible to damage from some of the people in the wing. So only, at least usually one or maximum, I think I've seen 2 people were able to damage the heart at the same time, and I'm eating lightning. So for example, right now I was like just firing at him, and it was completely useless. I just do not deal damage. It's an instancing/network issue, so there's not much we can do. Frontier have been trying to fix it. I mean, half-assedly tried to fix it for 3 years, and actively trying to fix it for about a year. So far, well, we have evidence, as you can see, that they've not fixed it. So that's the biggest problem in multiplayer. Depending on the quality of connection between you and the number of people in the instance, the fight can either be a cakewalk if everything goes well, or it can be, well, basically like we do now. So we literally we have 1/4 of the DPS.
When do you know when it's about to shoot the caustic?
It actually should be doing that when it's like, again, there is some network issues. Ideally, it should just scream after the heart, have a small pause, and then only launch caustic missiles. I guess in this particular case, just keep trying to launch them. Energy surge detected. You'll probably be.
I'm probably dead.
Go ahead if you can.
And you're welcome.
That's what happens when I got the Hydra. I got stopped like that and then completely destroyed.
Well, in this particular case, I probably won't, because we have targets.
Yep.
Yeah, Vas is tanking, so it's okay.
Yep, I got the aggro now.
I'm running from missiles.
No,
now
you
going
ghost cannons. I know, right, Zach?
I'm going for the swarm. So you'll be disabled for, I think it was about 40 seconds.
At least I'm not dead, right?
Yeah, there is a thing you can do. There is a
restart the ship?
There's a preventative measure. There's a shutdown field neutralizer. You need to hold, when the, right before the field hits you, because it really. Okay, I need to decom him as well. 1 second.
I think the best way, just to, whenever that happens, you do Alt F4.
Nah.
You just get over with.
People
just give up.
We don't clog. We accept death if that happens.
Yeah, no, okay. This hitches, burns, and yeah, it's not cool.
Larry, if you want to take the aggro, I got repair limpets too. I can toss this way.
All right.
Okay,
Alt F4 cleans your hull.
In a second.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's just a few more seconds.
Should have probably brought a faster ship, but did not have time.
Let me know when you got aggro.
Going for the swarm.
You were saying to get the Gauss cannons. If you get the Gauss cannons, you don't have to worry about it. But that's probably for the other things that you said, right?
I mean, the caustic, ideally you just don't get hit by it. You can safely kite the missiles. They're very slow if you have the speed for
How do you get rid of it? Just by running away?
Again, ideally you just don't get hit by caustic, just by running away. If you get hit by caustic, you overheat. You need to get to 250% to remove the caustic immediately. Or you use decom limpet, but again, decom limpets can only really be used if you're mostly stationary and don't take any damage from external sources.
Gotcha. There's only one
So,
arc left,
Ilarion should be able to heal you with.
Oh, are you healing me? I'm just moving away.
Yep, you got your round left.
I guess, yes.
Ilarion at least close to him. I have the aggro, so it's on me.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Ooh, my hull is going back up. This feels completely different from PvP. I can tell you that.
It is. It is completely different.
It's a whole different
because
gameplay.
It is what basically. It basically is raiding, like from any other MMO. It's a boss fight, I guess.
What do you think? Like all those PvPers, right? They say like, I'm so good, I can take everything down. You know, I'll gank you if you come, to me. If you put them against like a Cyclope or Basilisk or Medusa, something like that, what are the chances that actually they will do it?
At least good ones, good flying skills
like
from
Picard,
PvPers
maybe.
translate quite well to AX actually, because like you just need to know how to fly a ship. You need they usually have FAO skills. They usually know how to kill. Actually, let him kill it. Now that all hearts are dead. You can just shoot at him. Well, once the
because the hole is.
Actually, try to run away for a second. It will launch missiles. So
he's gonna launch missiles. Yeah.
It should.
If you get close.
Gotcha.
At least yeah. Don't get too close. But yeah.
How do you know? How do you know
people-
when it's actually good to be back to show?
When it launches the swarm. When the swarm is out, then you know that you can get back. So here's the swarm. Will be in a second. Come on. Yeah, here's the swarm. I'll get the swarm. You just damage the interceptor. Just at the hole. It doesn't have any hearts anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna see where it's going.
It has 20% hole.
Yeah, so
it
that.
doesn't regen anymore because all the hearts are down.
So the heart regenerates them. Ish.
Yeah, the regen rate is constant. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's significant. But once all the hearts are down, it doesn't regen anymore. You can just kill it. Also, please take care that to not be too close when it dies, because it will expand the cost of that. But we'll get you a heart if you want to.
We'll see. And this is a different account anyway, so it's fine.
Still, just
yeah.
show viewers and
Still
stuff.
for sure, yeah.
So yeah, back to the
percent.
bug, because it's important, unfortunately. So the bug might happen, so might not happen, and if it happens, the only thing you can really do is just wait for it to sort itself out, or find the person who can actually deal damage. That's why we run the same kind of
We got him.
Okay. Yep. So
I mean, you got him. I just finished him off.
actually, it was you, because you're only you were doing damage. So now
Holy moly!
Yeah, try to get away. Target something, like for example the weapons part. Get to 5 kilometers from.
5 kilometers. Holy moly! Okay, let's get out of here.
Expand after 5 kilometers.
That feels better than core mining. That explosion like that.
It is, but unfortunately, it doesn't pay as much.
Yeah. What is the
now
thoughts
we
on
can-
Thargoid? Your opinions? Are they good guys or bad guys? That's the question.
Total Thargoids. Thargoids, like, again.
Are they just
there is a
defending
lot-
themselves, or are
There
they...
is a lot of lore. There is a lot of lore that is. I would advise people against claiming things that are not
True.
Not even true, like not canon, because there's a lot of literature, fan fiction, and stuff around Elite. And the only things we can go and be sure are completely 100% canon are the ones in the codex and officially stated by Frontier. Frontier has stated that, like, has indicated several times that peace with Thargoids is not an option.
Yeah, they're not
It's
interested
like,
in that.
Braben himself said that if it's even possible, it would be a very short-lived one. So, I mean, Frontier can still explore that possibility, and honestly, I would like to see some sort of non-hostile gameplay with Thargoids, like at least, I mean, significant ones, not just feeding meta always. But at this point, I believe it's probably not gonna happen. Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? Frontier had done a good job of literally not answering that question for 3 years.
Oh my god.
So I
Is it because
don't
like
have an answer
they
yet.
didn't want to like say anything in case they were working on something else, or?
We couldn't know. Like, it is. Don't come too close.
Still?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm getting costing.
You're already burning.
Oh,
Aldi, come on. Stay still at this point. You'll probably
I thought it was
die.
done.
Nope.
I saw you guys just flying around. I said like, okay, I guess it's good.
We're exactly 5 kilometers from it.
so after it dissipates, it's sort of still faintly visible, and you might think that it's gone, but it's actually
Yeah, there is a 550 rule. You need to stay 5 kilometers away, target any material, and wait until it's down to 50% integrity or less. Only then it's safe.
Gotcha.
And you went just as when they were at like 52%.
Hey, we only the Thargoid hearts are illegal in jurisdiction?
Yes, Frontier.
That doesn't make any sense.
They fucked up something, so they made basically all of the Thargoid things illegal. For some seconds.
They should be happy for you to take them down, right?
Yes, that's the idea. It's actually very hilarious now because our own faction gives us fines for selling them to our own carriers.
Oh my god.
And
People
because
say even when they're dead, they can kill you.
Okay, he is done. So yeah, you don't need to rush. Target materials, for example, weapon parts, wreckage components, they do decay, but they're useless completely. Yeah. The only thing you want to is the heart, and the heart, I think, doesn't decay. Yeah, it doesn't decay. It's just 100% sitting here.
Can I interject? Technically, the Thargoid materials are used for standard and premium synthesis on the AX human weapons, but as we already established, they are borderline useless.
Yeah, it's literally just wasting
So
materials.
you can use them, they're just useless.
Like, if they have a use, it's just that you never want to do that. Absolutely never.
Yeah. Just reading chat and see if there's any questions.
So yeah, there are some hints that Thargoid might be like tricked, I guess, or something else, or maybe they are just arrogant. The only real thing we know from Codex is that they're incredibly territorial. They don't accept any diplomacy, like at all. Like, for example, Guardians, the extinct civilization, they had developed an actually working universal translator. So they could speak to them. They don't care, they just open fire. So that's your chance for a peace wasted, Thargoids. Or I guess a second.
Well, it's the only thing that is like actually against humans in this whole universe. I guess like that's, if you make them friendly, then it's over. There's no more enemies. Just pirates.
Yes, that's the gameplay justification, I guess.
If you had, you know, like multiple factions, like I don't know, like Stellaris or something, then you will do like some are actually more diplomatic, some of them are more hostiles. But if you only have one enemy, it has to be hostile.
I mean, yes. Again, the
Do you think they will ever add any other faction or race or anything like that?
They can. There is a potential for that in non-canon lore. People mistake that lore for canon, but it's technically not. So it may become canon, because again, remember, as we saw over the years, everything that was done, said, or written in like Elite Universe beforehand is not necessarily canon anymore. The best example of that is the potential outcome of the Thargoid quest in the previous game, where you can deliver a cure to mycoid virus to them, or to other people, and not to them basically. In the canon choice, or you can just basically nuke them. Canon choice in universe is that the Jameson, Commander Jameson, the protagonist of that game, actually nuked them. He nukes them. He took the other path. So all of the lore that is relevant to that other path, to curing the mycoid virus, is non-canon. So you need to be very, very careful as to what you assume is or not, or isn't canon. That's, I guess, the justification wise. Take a look at the heart, actually. It's an interesting thing.
Does he actually, where's the heart? I was looking in free camera. Let me see where it is. It's a canister, right? Is it this one right here, maybe?
Canister heart.
Oh,
mean,
I
it's
see it.
called
I think it's
canister.
this one because it looks like something.
No, I think that's just oh, yep, I think
Is that it?
I mean, I'm next to it. Closely getting to
Is it pumping? It would be cool if it was still pumping. That would be good. Oh,
I think I popped it.
somebody's pushing me.
Yeah, I
No,
popped it, sorry.
it's flying away.
Oof.
Rip. And we'll go get it back in Colonia, I guess. He's trying to
So
stop it. Look at that.
What other questions are there?
They were talking about a book or something.
I mean, yeah, basically, regarding IX, regarding Thargoids, the lore is still in the writing. They have not completely given everything away. They can basically turn it around at any time, so I don't think there is a reason to get too deep into that. They're just the enemy that we fight. Obviously, as a player group, like as a group of players, I mean, we wouldn't want to have a complete piece with Thargoids because that's the content we enjoy, and let's be real, Frontier will not waste their development time on something that they will completely remove from the game. So that's that.
That's
Even
good.
if there is potential for a peaceful faction of Thargoids, there will still be hostile ones.
Nice. I think this heart with a little sprinkle of lemon will actually be very, very yummy.
Slightly caustic to human life, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's why you need to burn it off with lemon. There was a question. What do you think Odyssey will bring to the Thargoids?
I think we already did discuss that. League states on foot combat. There are also some things that other people speculate, but again, speculations are not really like. My main concern is that Frontier are known for bad networking. I guess amongst the veteran population, as you just saw in this fight. So I am very much concerned for the quality of gameplay on foot combat section, because nothing is worse than a shooter with a bad combo, with a bad networking. Like in ships are relatively big. You don't really care if they jump around a couple meters here or there. But a person jumping around a couple meters here or there will get really obnoxious really fast.
Yeah. How many hearts do you think you all have gotten? Like personally, like Avasa, Ilarion, and you.
Personally, I don't know. I lost my logs a while ago, but I think I'm at probably 5,000 kills. Maybe 6,000. I'm far from the most prolific person in killing Thargoids. We have Aaron, who is 20. He was at 25,000 kills. Like, what was that? 3 years ago, something like that. So it's probably a lot more.
Aaron actually logged on just now.
Oof.
Oh,
He slightly missed the chance, but oh well. So yeah, you can actually get I guess somebody can get the heart for you. And
No wonder the
transfer
Thargoids are mad at us. They're safe. Because you guys are doing some serious damage to them.
I mean, they've been attacking and killing our. Actually, that video.
I watched them both. I watched them both.
Yeah, definitely do.
Actually, I like this caustic damage on my. I'm not gonna fix the paint on this. It looks like I'm actually. It's actually. Look at this. That's just sick, man. I'm gonna leave it like this.
So, actually, speaking of Thargoid kills, there's somebody developed a utility that actually reads your logs and checks the kill count for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how we can know.
At this
It
point, we
keeps
have
track.
several ways to track kills. Inara can track them if you link your account, and yep, we have several kinds of things.
Shmoopu say Heartbreaker is a good name for a Thargoid ship.
I think I saw that one already. Sorry.
Nice. Well, you
You wanted to do something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say to cover the question earlier about how long it takes to kill an interceptor. Typically, if you're for inducted already and you're pretty well experienced, to kill a Cyclops, you're looking at about 4 to 5 minutes. Basilisk about 10 to 15. Medusa's around 20 to 30. And then the Hydras typically take about an hour to do them solo. If you're following by the mechanics. Yeah, if you're following by the mechanics, of course.
Yeah.
If you're doing like cheese mechanics, i.e. Ramming them, I mean, I personally don't like to ram them, but to take their shields down, ramming them, or...
Do you have to do that in a Corvette in order to ram them, or you can do it in any ship?
Chieftain, anything that can
really?
handle the ram,
hit?
and then you just repair yourself back up again.
So you always bring your repair and stuff in limpets with you?
Depends on the build. There are very many different kinds of builds. We'll probably not be able to explain them in time. Like big ships stack full raw HP. Small ships, not small, medium ships either go completely shielded and repair, or just like somewhat shielded and don't take any damage. And yeah, there are many different kinds, but all of them center around Gauss cannons and heat sinks.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get somebody that is interested in that, and maybe we can on the main account though. So I'm engineered. We'll bring. Maybe I'll buy a chieftain just for the fun. The crate. Yeah, go ahead.
You go on.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just was asking to do you remember what's the double Hydra kill? How like long did it take?
To double Hydra took him about 2.5 hours, but the Octagoid kill that Maligno pulled off, that was about 7 to 8 hours, and then Sniper Man's Octagoid kill was about 6 hours.
Oh god.
So
yeah, brother was saying that he fought the Medusa the first time and he killed it with 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right for the first time.
Which for me, it's another 24-hour stream that said, wow, thanks.
Wing issues can extend the fight, unfortunately, because again, but like in solo, it thankfully doesn't happen, but you're on your own and you cannot leave. So you need to tailor your builds against that.
Yeah, brother said he got 4 rebuys until he got the first Medusa killed.
Yeah. I don't even remember how many rebuys I got.
So we gotta stack up on money, that's what it is. So the mining is just for the rebuys, to pay for the rebuys.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. Medusa is very unforgiving. Oops, apparently I shot somebody.
The jump in difficulty is significant. The jump in difficulty between Cyclops and Basilisk is basically almost double. Double everything, like double the damage, double the swarm count, double the, I don't know, like basically everything again. So it's
that's a good question. Are there important mechanics with the scouts? Do they have the hearts as well, or it's just like you just kill them?
That's the thing though. The only similar mechanic they have is that they also launch caustic missiles, although they are slightly different. They move at different speed, at different trajectories, and so on and so forth.
Ooh, I can cover that.
Everything else is basically different.
So if somebody wants to do it, what's the lowest threat? Is it threat 2 or threat 4 for finding like scouts?
3, I think. I mean, you can technically get 2, but 3, 4 is the most common ones for scouts. 5 and above can have either scouts or an interceptor.
So somebody wants to jump in, you recommend just go starting with 4?
I mean, if you really just like have no previous experience, don't really think you can take up on an interceptor, just like slap basically the same build we did here for you. And go kill some scouts in 3 or 4.
And if they spawn in 5 or 6, I know like some of them have a different amount. They could be like 3, they could be 4, whatever. 5.
Yes, the higher the threat, the more the scouts there.
The highest I've personally seen is when I was cleaning up an infestation. I believe I dropped in a threat 6, and there were like at least a dozen in there. Maybe
there can be 12,
close to 2 dozen.
But that would be probably a little bit too much to even think like you're getting shot by 12 of them and you're targeting 1. Might be a little bit too much for the first.
At that point, the damage is comparable to that of a Cyclops.
Threat 6 is actually comparable to a Cyclops, I guess. Threat 6 scouts is comparable in difficulty. Avasa, you want to say something?
Yeah, to cover the scouts, the only thing that you have to worry about mechanical-wise with the scouts, other than the caustic missiles, is their variants also. You got 4 different types of variants. You got your Insiders, Regenerators, Berserkers, and the other one that really does nothing to them.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Berserkers will buff the damage, and they're going to start firing at you like crazy. Of all the scouts around them, Regenerators are regenerating all the scouts around them too, so they're healing all their little buddies around them. So you kind of have to worry about start prioritizing which variants you want to kill. Typically, kill the Berserkers first, then the Insiders, or not Insiders, the Regenerators, Insiders, and then the basic ones.
Nice. Dang, it's like an MMO. It turns into an MMO with the scouts, where the healer, the damage, and then the tank.
The biggest difference between scouts and interceptors, in my opinion, is their different kinds of damage resistance. Scouts are only about 77% resistant to normal kind of damage, so you can still deal, well, about 30% with the normal weapons. But we do definitely recommend IX multi-cannons for them, especially the turreted ones, because again, they're agile and very hard to hit.
Or if you want to practice your gaussing for interceptors, you can use scouts as target practice.
Not that efficient though, but yeah, if you just want to kill, but practice is also a good idea. For interceptors have like 99.97% resistance to normal weapons, so effectively, you'll not be killing anyone. Like we calculated, I think to kill a single Cyclops, just using normal, huge overcharged plasma accelerators, you'll need about 160 ships.
That's probably one of the things about like new players, new players as in new players coming into Xeno Hunting, right? I'm not saying new players as they just started. I think the main problem is like they maybe don't know much about like the weapons to use. And they go in with a PvP build, and it's like I can't get to kill them. We've seen several people that try to do IX in a normal PvE build, and it never goes well because again, it's just you don't deal any damage. Yeah, it's just not how it works. Again, I blame the game because it just doesn't tell you anything about it. Like I think that technically it's a codex about those kind of things, but the game just doesn't explicitly tells you that no, you cannot kill them with normal weapons. Like go and pick these ones. Well, that's like how we started, where this is the keys for the Sidewinder, go have fun without even a tutorial. The game is always being kind of like on that route where you just dropped in there and then you're done. It can be frustrating for people. Yeah, of course. So, that's why a lot of people like if you like what I notice in chat a lot, people is like, I used to play it and I haven't played it for 2 years, or I played it and I didn't know what to do and I'm coming back to it. It's the fact that people are just left kind of stranded a little bit, and if you don't know anybody then plays the game, you're just basically gonna end up quitting because you have no idea what you're doing. So it's dangerous. That was partially the reason for the initiative itself, because like we are the place to get the information. Yeah, specifically we have the academy for it, and like I've seen many people just come in completely fresh, and well, some have their dreams broken, I guess, considering the ship choice or weapon choice or something else, because our mentors don't usually mince words in that regard, because again, seen too many of those cases. But yeah, at least we tell them that this thing exists. Our rank system is basically that whole idea taken to what actually Frontier should have done, at least in my opinion. Basically achievements. Like, do this in a certain way and earn yourself a thing. Like, prove that you are capable and get something for it. Unfortunately, we cannot offer in-game rewards. Not really. What skin are you rocking, Ayers?
The shiny red one. I can't even think of it right now.
But is it because it's like caustic damage, or
it's abyssal on a Stygian red?
Yes, Stygian red. Yeah.
It was a limited time thing.
I was like, I've never seen that before.
They were expensive as hell, so
so nobody bought it. Yeah.
That's a whole nother point.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, any other questions from the chat?
My first Thargoid combat encounter was a Medusa. I ran away with 5% hull. My second attempt, a friend showed me how to find a Cyclops. He died, and I managed to finish off the last couple of hearts and got my bobblehead. I'm not being able to kill another one solo though.
Again, it's
Find some friends, I guess.
It is possible. Yeah, I mean, practice in wings, learn the patterns, learn the mechanics, then do it solo. Cyclops is very easy once you get the hang of it. Like once you're not panicking.
Yeah, and I will suggest joining their Discord and link up with somebody. I'm pretty sure mentorship is one of the things, right?
Yeah, that's showing. The idea, I guess.
Because nobody gets to learn by themselves, and then I mean, you do learn by yourself, but that's gonna take you, a long time to get the information you need. But it's good. I appreciate your time, guys. Sorry for it took a little while until we get to the point, but I'm glad that we actually got things done.
I like to talk about our Thargoid combat, especially because again, not many people do. It's definitely not mining in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's exciting, and that's why I wanted to. Oh my god, you slapped that dude. That's the good thing about why I wanted to put this one inside the stream, is because new players, all they do, it's like, oh, the new meta is go mine and make all the money you want, and then what about the rest of the gameplay? This is not just mining simulator 2020. There's other things. So we did the BGS segment, we did fuel ratting, we're gonna do some IDA, people, whatever you guys want to do, there's a path for you in this game. So, and we give the resources, so people can find their way.
Yeah, there's a comment about FA off, not being able to use fixed weapons or fly FA off. About fixed weapons, that's a big point of contention, I guess, for many people, that AX does not have any gimbal weapons. I am of the opinion that it should be this case, because in the main game, gimbal weapons is strictly overpowered. Fixed weapons should either deal significantly more damage than they already do to compensate for that, or then gimbal weapons should be nerfed for the amount of aim assist they basically allow. Because most ships can relatively easily follow the target, and if you can just face the target in a very wide cone, the weapons will just snap. Turrets are very bad because they have very bad accuracy, but that's not the case with gimbal weapons. As for FA, by getting into X, yes, for people who only ever used gimbal weapons or turrets, it's a big shock. I do understand that, but that's how it should be. You need to learn to use the most effective option. And I guess the X just forces you to use the most effective option. You don't have a chance otherwise. As for FA off, it's not strictly required. I don't really have the proper setup for FA off. I'm keyboard and mouse player, and I hate that Frontier in almost 6 years have not added a button to switch relative mouse off or on. So I just cannot be really bothered to fly FA off. There are other people that just turn off FA off completely, but I don't really like to navigate in Super Cruise without relative mouse. So I'm completely FA on player, and I always managed to kill basically everything I can. Obviously, I'm not sold to Hydra because that's a ridiculous grind by my standards. So anyway, you do not need FA off. If you really, really, really want to dedicate enough time to get solo everything, then you probably will have to use FA off. I mean, you will have to. But at that point, you will be able to learn. You'll spend so much time doing that it's just worth it to learn FA off. If not, and if you are content with being able to stop at about Medusa, then you can either main a big ship like me, and there is a completely different style of play you can do, or pick a ship that doesn't really rely on FA off. Again, Crate can relatively safely orbit without FA off. Same actually for Chieftain, but it again requires a different approach.
Yeah, And
So do not think that you need to do it. It's worth it for sure, but you can do it without.
yeah, and brother was saying I avoided using rail guns because I was bad with them, but to learn gas cannons, I put rails on my combat ship and forced myself to use them. I guess it's a way to do it. Alrighty.
Yep. Rails are basically the same mechanics, so they're also a very good thing to train off if you want to.
Nice. I like that. But anyway, thank you so much for all your help, guys. Thank you. I don't know what time it is where you guys are. I hear 2 Americans and a European, so I'm pretty sure
it's all right for us. We pick the time that we can be at
all together. I see.
So yeah.
Alrighty, I appreciate you guys, and then feel free to come by, and we'll send people over to you once if somebody's interested in that. At least we have all the resources, and then we'll post this on YouTube segmented. I don't know if YouTube is gonna allow us more than 15 minutes, whatever that is. We'll try to put them all together. I'll send you the link privately, so you can, if you want to share it, you can do that.
Sure, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
Abbas.
us,
Thank you, Larry.
guys.
Thank you, Rube.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.